my lovely students, welcome to a new math lesson with Miss Fatima. Students, today we get to talk about a new lesson, and it's what? On lesson 6 at page 16 we have the new subject. It's round numbers. Today, students, we get to talk about round numbers and how we can round the numbers. Before we get to solve some equations about it, we get to write some notes, and we study those notes about round numbers. Now, students, in notes, first point in notes, we have what? If we have 1, 2, 3, 4, if we have those numbers, students, those numbers from 1 to 4, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have to write what? Then we have to write the digit after them like itself without any changing, students. We write like itself. For example, we have 21. We have what? 21. Now, students, in second point, say for us, if we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we have from 5 to 9, then we adding the digit after them by 1. By what? By 1. Students, we say that if we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then we get what? We get to adding the digit after them by 1. For example, we have 38. 38. When we get round this number, students, when we get round this number, we have 8 in here. Then it's add this number by 1. Then it's round to 40. It's round to 40. Now, students, in point 3, say for us, if in equation, say for us, round, we have the dash in here, it's mean about any numbers. Round the number to the nearest 10. To the nearest what? 10. If say for us like this, then we saw the ones. For example, students, we have 121. 121. Which one is 10? This is 10. This 2 is in 10. We say that we get to round this number to the nearest 10. Then we saw the ones. We saw this. It's 1. 1, we say that is smaller than 5. Then we have to write this number like itself without any changing. Then we have to write 120 like itself. Now we get to round this number 247 to the nearest 10. To the nearest 10. Then we saw what? We saw the ones. We have 4 in tens. 4 in tens. And we said we saw the ones. And we have 7 in ones. It's greater than 5. Then this 7, it's plus this 4 by 1. It's plus this 4 by 1. Then it's round to 250. 250. Students, now we get explain point 4 in notes. If in equations, say for us, round the number, any numbers in here to the nearest 100, this time is 100. Then we saw the tens. We saw what? We saw the tens. For example, students, you have 121. If in equation, say for us, round 121 to the nearest 100, then we saw what? Tens. Okay. We have 1 in 100. This is 100. And say for us, we saw the 10. This is 10. It is 2. 2 is smaller than 5. Then we have to write this number like itself without any changing. Then students, it's round to 100 like itself without any changing. Now the second example, we have 268. 268. We have 2 in 100. We get to round this number to the nearest 100. And then we saw what? We saw 10. We have 6 in 10. This 6 it's greater than 5. Then it's plus this 2 by 1. Then it's round to what? To 300. To 300. Now students, you get to explain 0.5 in the notes. It's like 0.4 and 0.3, but we have some difference between them. If in equations, say for us, round any numbers in here, round the number to the nearest 1,000. This time is 1,000. Then we saw what? We saw the 100. We saw the 100 students. For example, we get to round 1,302 to the nearest 1,000. We have 1 in 1,000, and in 100 we have 3. 3 is smaller than 5. Then we have to write this 1 in 1,000 like itself without any changing, students. Then we have to write 1,000 like itself. Now we get to the second example. Right there, 1,614. 1,614. We have 1 in 1,000. We get to round this number to the nearest 1,000. We have 1 in 1,000. And we saw which digit? We saw the 100. We have 6 in 100. It's greater than 5, students. Then we have to write what? This 6, it's plus this 1 by 1 because it's greater than 5. Then we have, it's round to 2,000. It's round to what? 2,000. Now students, we get to solve check at page 17. Now we get to solve equation 1 in the check. Write in equation 1, explain how you can round 2,641 to the nearest 10. It's right, this 10 by numbers, don't write by word forms. Okay students, now we get to round this number to the nearest 10. We have 2,641. Which one is 10? We have 4 in tens. This is in tens. Then we saw which digit? We read those in the notes. We saw the ones, and we have 1 in ones. It's smaller than 5. Then we have to write this number like itself. Then students, we have to write 2,640 like itself without any changing. Now students, we get to solve equation 2. Students, to solve equation 2, we have this number line. We get to use this number line to solve it. Okay. In equation 2, say for us, round this number first time to the nearest 10, after that to the nearest 100. Now we get first time round this number to the nearest 10, but before we round it, we get to put this number on the number line. We have 643. 643 is in here, students. It's 643 is in here. Now we get round 643 to the nearest 10. To the nearest what? 10. Okay, which one is 10 in here? We have 4 in 10. Okay, we saw which digit? We say that we saw the ones, and we have 3 in ones. 3 is smaller than 5. Then we have to write this 4 like itself without any changing. Then students, we have to write 640 like itself without any changing. Okay, students, the second time we get to round it to the nearest hundred. Right there, round 643 to what? To the nearest hundred. This time is hundred. Then, students, we have this number 643. Which one is hundred? We say that because we say that to the nearest hundred. 6 is hundred, is in hundred. Then we saw which digit? We saw the tens. We have 4 in tens, and 4 is less than 5, 2. Then we have to write this number like what? Like itself. Then we have to write what? Have to write 600, students, without any changing. Now, students, we get to solve equation 3. It's solve like equation 2, but without using the number line, students. In equation 3, we have 377. We get to round this number the first time to the nearest 10 and the second time to the nearest 100. Okay, let's go to solve it. We say that round 377 to the what? To the nearest 10. We have 10. Then which one is 10? We have 7 in 10. Then we saw which digit, students? We saw the ones. We have 7 in ones. It's greater than 5. Then it's plus this 7 by 1. Then it's round to what? To 380, because we have this 7 in ones and it's greater than 5. Now, students, the second time we get to round the same numbers 377 to what? To the nearest 100. This time is 100. Then which one is 100? We have 3 in 100. Then we saw which digit? We saw the tens. We have 7 in tens and it's greater than 5. Yes, students, it's plus this 3 by 1. Then it's round to what? It's round to 400. Students, we have to write 400. Why? Because in tens we have 7 and it is greater than 5. Okay, students, now we get to solve equation 4. In equation 4, we have 845. It's solved like equation 3, students. First time we get to round the number to the nearest 10, and the second time we get to round the same number to the nearest 100. Okay, let's go to solve it. We have to write around 845 to what? To the nearest 10. We have 10 in here. Then which one is 10? This 4 is in 10. Then we saw which digit, students? We saw the ones and we have 5 in ones. 5 it's equal to 5 and it's in the second point. Then it's plus this 4 by 1. It's plus this 4. Then it's round to what? 850. Then students, we have to write 850. Why? Because in ones we have 5 and it's in the second point. The second time, students, we get to round the same number 845 to what? To the nearest 100. This time is 100. Then which one is 100? We have 8 in 100. Then we saw which digit? We saw the 10. We have 4 in 10. It's smaller than 5 and it's in the point 1. Then we have to write this 8 like itself without any changing, students. We have to write 800 and it's round to 800.